In American restaurants, you're paying over $20 for microwaved frozen food.
I think we can all agree that eating at a restaurant has become like ridiculously priced in the past few years.
I'm at my job at Denny's, and it's literally not a singular customer, and we are empty.
Everyone's dealing with the high cost of living, and lately my feed has been full of videos showing how empty restaurants are. Over the years, prices went up and food quality dropped, which really hurt an already tough business. Now, I'm not sure what can be done about it. Short-term promotions and price cuts might get people through the door, but that won't last. And since everything keeps getting more expensive, I think this is only going to get worse. We've got a lot to talk about today, including your comments from previous videos. Leave a comment if you want to be featured in a future video. Let's kick things off with a really interesting clip.
I think we can all agree that eating at a restaurant has become like ridiculously priced in the past few years. We cook at home most of the times, but we like to go out like once or twice a week. And I honestly feel like me and my husband, cannot go out to lunch or dinner without spending $50+ and we don't even drink. A couple months ago now, me and my husband kind of just looked at each other after going to a moderately priced restaurant and being like, that was not worth it. And we kind of just decided then and there that we were either going to go the fast casual chain restaurant route or go to a really nice restaurant where we knew that we were going to get a great meal and it'd be worth what we were paying for. This has kind of helped with that balance of sometimes we don't want to cook, sometimes we want a great experience, but we weren't getting that value out of going to the mediocre restaurant and it being worth our money.
I get what she's saying, and honestly, I agree with her. But if she's complaining about how crazy expensive restaurants are now, yet still going once or twice a week, what am I supposed to say? From the restaurant side, you're still a paying customer. Going out that often doesn't really change anything with your money. So this one totally confused me, and the comments felt the same way. Once or twice a week? That's wild. I thought she meant once or twice a month, which is already a lot. Another comment mentioned when she was talking about fast casual places. They spent $15 at Panera for half a sandwich and half a mac and cheese. Ridiculous. So that option isn't much cheaper these days, either. And then, on the flip side, she said they were going all out at fancy restaurants for top quality food, but obviously that's way more expensive than anything else. One of your comments said not only have prices doubled, but quality has dropped by half. That's why this kind of nightlife and dining scene is really fading in some parts of the country.
In American restaurants, you're paying over $20 for microwaved frozen food, and people are wondering why no one wants to eat out anymore. This isn't just some crazy theory. This is actually true. Restaurants openly admit to this. The system is absolutely collapsing on itself. People can't afford it. Customers aren't going out anymore. These places are sitting empty on Friday, Saturday nights. I could go to Central Avenue on a Friday night and film an empty restaurant for you guys if you don't believe me. It is happening over and over and over again every weekend at this point. As a live musician in this city, I can see it firsthand because the gigs are the first thing to go. If there's no one in the restaurant, they're not going to pay for live music. And this loss of restaurants in America is going to be studied. This is bad.
A comment on my last TikTok said that restaurants nowadays are just competing over who can present Cisco food the best. We'll get into that in a bit. But even restaurants openly know customer traffic is dropping, and nothing's really changing.
But a lot of the restaurant owners and chefs in Miami this summer have been talking about just how slow everything has been. And of course, it's not everywhere, but the Miami Herald talked to a bunch of people who live in Miami and asked them why they're not eating out. And for the most part, people said prices are just too high and they are trying to cut back right now. They say the main reason cited by diners who responded is the fact that prices are too high and that too many new restaurants aren't paying attention to the needs of local diners. Man, that one hits home too, because so many of these restaurants are all the same. They all kind of have the same dishes. They're all very expensive. The service is mediocre or crap at best. And then they want to charge you $30 to $40 a plate. One couple in Miami reported going to a restaurant in Wynwood called Double Knot, which is an Asian restaurant from Philadelphia. And just a dinner for two was $300, guys. If I got a bill for dinner for two for Lizzie and I would have to do a double take and is this for real? I mean, is this the right number I don't think I've ever paid that much for us to go have a dinner anywhere.
Prices keep going up, even though fewer people are coming in. Coming up, I'll show you a couple of sponsored TikTok posts from big chain restaurants with limited time deals and meal bundles to draw people in. But once those offers end, customers vanish too. We've already seen that with McDonald's and other fast food places. High prices have pushed people away. So now they push promotions through mobile orders, apps, and takeout. People use those deals and buy food, but the moment the offer expires, the restaurant empties out again. Another point from that last clip. A lot of newer restaurants feel the same dishes, same look, same prices. People are just tired of the whole modernized logos, spaces, everything. And we've got a quick update on the Cracker Barrel situation from recently.
Restaurant chain Cracker Barrel is cutting ties with the San Francisco design firm behind its controversial rebrand. The restaurant chain hired Profit just 7 months ago. In August, it unveiled its new logo, streamlining the design by ditching the iconic man in the overalls and the barrel. The new logo drew massive backlash online. Cracker Barrel has since reverted to its original branding and suspended redesigns.
Over the last few years, prices have gone up, food quality has dropped, and everything is getting the same boring modern look. So now it's hard to tell any restaurant apart, and people are surprised the whole industry is struggling. I honestly don't get how they missed this, but one of you left a comment about food quality that really says it all. How can restaurants nearly double their prices when everything they serve is frozen? Nothing is made from scratch. You can buy a bag of frozen fries at Walmart for $3. It blows my mind that the food tastes terrible, yet they charge steakhouse prices. More and more people are starting to notice and talk about it online because so many of these places just heat up stuff you could buy at the grocery store. Nothing is fresh.
Can anyone else not eat at chain sit-down restaurants anymore? Like Olive Garden or Chili's. I used to love them. I worked at Chili's, loved the food. But lately it's really freaking me out. Every time I eat it, it doesn't feel like real food. It feels like it was made in a lab, which it probably was in some really nice test kitchen and everything. But I know it's prepackaged and comes in frozen, blah blah blah. But I could get past that before, and now it's just different. It feels I don't know, dystopian slop, presented as a nice meal.
I will not spend more than $20 on a meal that's basically a TV dinner. And it's not just that. It's happening with everything. Restaurant food is unappealing, fast food is even worse, frozen food tastes like plastic, and even fresh stuff keeps getting recalled or pulled from shelves. We've touched on this before when talking about grocery store prices. Nothing really feels safe to eat anymore. A lot of the food at chain restaurants comes straight out of a freezer bag, and we've got a perfect example right here.
So I'm walking home, right? And I see all of these bags of chicken meatballs. I'm like, why on earth would a restaurant, where would these be coming from? You know what? Cater to you kitchen. You pay for catering and you get chicken meatballs from a box.
You might be surprised to learn where your local restaurants get their supplies. Try looking up Restaurant Depot. I also love when people who don't work in restaurants first discover Cisco. I don't get why everyone is being harsh about this. Do I think a restaurant should hand-roll their meatballs? Honestly, yes, I do. Especially with how much you have to pay these days, everything should be top quality. But that's just not happening.
This is the Costco of restaurants, and just like Costco, you have to be a member to shop here. And to be a member, you have to work for a restaurant. This is where restaurants can get items in bulk, from disposable cutlery to tubs of mayo and soy sauce, and even Willy Wonka-sized chocolate bars. But here's a dirty little secret. A lot of restaurants will get frozen, pre-made dishes here. Heat them up to the restaurant, serve it to the customer, charge $10. Most popular offenders are the labor-intensive dishes like empanadas, dumplings, spring rolls, raviolis, pastries, and especially desserts. It is rare for a restaurant to have a dedicated pastry chef. So many times the chocolate pudding or the tiramisu or the tres leches cake you're ordering is just thawed out Restaurant Depot food. So what do you think? Is this cheating or is this smart business?
You could call it smart business, but if customers stop coming because of it, then it's not so smart anymore. That comment about charging $10 for a dish is actually on the low end now. A lot of basic meals go for $15 or $20. But let's look at the comments. I don't think it's a dirty little secret anymore. You can tell that places like Olive Garden or Red Lobster taste like warmed up frozen food. Stick with small, local family-owned restaurants if you can still find them. We'll talk about that later in the video, because those come with a high price too. When we look at why restaurants are losing revenue, it's not just about food. We have a clip on screen. Restaurant operators are seeing a drop in alcohol sales, according to the Texas Restaurant Association. A survey of owners found alcohol sales went down in the second quarter of 2025. They blame the economy and drinking trends among people under 29. Gen Z and younger millennials just aren't drinking as much as older generations. Those changing habits mean the industry has to adapt. Honestly, I don't see how they can adapt if people aren't drinking at all. I can only speak from my own experience, but I see a lot of people my age, including me, who barely drink anymore, or don't drink at all. Another big reason shows up in the comments. It's easier to buy your own bottle than pay $22 for a mixed drink. Some restaurants have reached the point where one drink costs the same as a meal that's already overpriced. And those drinks come in tiny glasses with just a few ounces of liquid. More people are waking up and realizing it's not worth it. Barely any alcohol in a $20 drink. Look, we're broke. We don't have money for watered-down drinks. No thanks. Who can afford to go out and drink in this economy? None of this surprises me. Here's another comment. Someone went to Buffalo Wild Wings after 3 years. 15 wings and fries for them, a burger and fries for the other person. Total was $48 before tip and taxes. The wings were burnt and soggy, and only 10 people were in the whole restaurant. They said they'll never go back. And building on that, you can see a lot of these chain restaurants are really hurting now.
Applebee's and IHOP are losing money. They are amongst the latest restaurant chains to announce that customers are walking away from higher priced items and not spending as much time in their restaurants. Remember that Applebee's and IHOP were part of the group of restaurants that raised their prices over the last few years, and they are seeing customers pull back as a result. In fact, Applebee's says that the amount of customers that are only coming in to take advantage of promotions has significantly increased over the past year. Of course, it's little wonder that customers are getting very savvy and are only focused on deals when the price of food has skyrocketed so much, especially eating out and amongst even fast food restaurants. Applebee's and IHOP say that they hope to turn things around for themselves by focusing on innovative new menu products. So what, can customers expect more of those watered down dollaritas? Either way, given current economic conditions, I highly doubt there's going to be much that either restaurant can do to coax customers into spending much more on higher priced items. It just simply isn't the time for that right now.
I'm seeing a lot of this right now because I searched this topic on TikTok. The sponsored posts on screen are a good example. This one is Buffalo Wild Wings, pick 6 for $19.99. It seems like a good deal overall, but these offers don't stick around forever. I've seen ads before with Applebee's, like he mentioned in the last clip. Same with Chili's, but those deals go away, and so do the customers. So I thought it would be helpful to look at a clip from just a couple years ago, back in 2023, when this issue was still happening. It'll show how much things have changed over the past 2 years.
Is price actually the problem why people are going out less? I think at the end of this video, I'm going to surprise you. So we see this article from December 22nd of 2023. It talks about how, as you can read the headline, is it price or is it something else why people are dining out less? So now this first part would show you, it says that to be clear, there hasn't been an exodus from restaurants exactly, but the anticipated rebound of the pandemic has been slowing. But you see things like this. Like, so at the end of this, late night Taco Bell runs were way up. The fast casual has gone up. We still left our homes in search of convenient food, fast food joints, all that type of stuff. So we're seeing, and this would lead you to believe that maybe price is the problem because these are oftentimes the cheaper option. But not so fast, my friend. As you would see here, when it comes to the more expensive locations, it seems as though they're either doing all or nothing. Customers are doing all or nothing. They're either going to Carbone or these really high-end viral places that are doing great, or they're not going out at all. It's no longer in between where they'll go out for the nice place, but nothing crazy. It's just different. And this is what we've seen in 2023.
Back then, it felt like restaurants were either very expensive or very cheap. Most chain places in the middle just weren't worth it, and honestly, that's still true today. But fast forward 2 years, and people are complaining hard about fast food. It's not worth it either, since prices are now similar to those same chain restaurants, so sales in that part of the industry are down too. Meanwhile, it seems more people are going to high-end, expensive restaurants. In my opinion, those aren't really worth it either. I'm sorry, but no steak is worth $100 or more. If you have that kind of money to spend all the time, that's your choice. I've been to a very expensive restaurant once. The food was good, but I could never justify those prices in my head, even if I had a ton of money. That's just not how everyone feels, though. Anyway, back to fast food. We have a clip here showing how its prices now match a sit-down restaurant.
Here at the Subway. A foot-long sandwich, the Beast, $18.99. Woo! 12 for the half foot, and a right.
Who's really paying $20 for a Subway sandwich? Even if the food was free, Subway would still be terrible. And if you get it delivered, you're basically paying for a $30 sandwich. $40 for 2 sandwiches is crazy. I honestly don't understand how so many of these places are still around.
I'm at my job at Denny's, and it's literally not a singular customer, and we are empty. It's 3 employees, and we live in California too. So in California, we get paid $19 an hour minimum. So there's 2 servers, $19 an hour. One of them, he's been here longer than me, so I'm assuming that his pay is somewhere in around like $23 an hour. And then we got a cook, probably makes about $25 to $30 an hour. So just in labor costs alone, they losing almost damn near like $80 an hour.
I went to Denny's about 2 months ago. A breakfast combo was $20. We just walked out. Crazy. But I figured it'd be worth talking about some of the wages at these places. Like he said, they were making $19 an hour because they were in California. And honestly, I don't think that's the main reason people are frustrated with restaurants or not going anymore. But I do think it could play a part, and probably not the best thing to post online right now. I've seen servers sharing how much they earn. People comment, "Oh, you're a server? You gonna get a real job?" Then you see what she made in August. Almost $9,000, $52 an hour. Let's jump to the comments. Can we stop bragging about what we make? It just makes people not want to tip. Never tipping again. Those comments are right. Not tipping more than $5 at any restaurant now. People with important jobs should be making this kind of money. Never tipping again. Going back to my standard 15%. I'm not saying whether that's right or wrong, but with almost everyone feeling the pinch, showing off that you made $9 grand in a month as a server? Probably not smart right now. Here's another one. How much I make in a work week as a server. Day by day, 383, 633, 365, 250. Total, $1,633 for 33 hours. That's almost $50 an hour again, and the same kind of comments. I'm gonna stop tipping. Cool, I can tip less now. As a server, I need other servers to stop advertising because it makes people tip less. This is more than I make in 2 weeks as a career paramedic. So yeah, I think these videos aren't helping anyone. But let's go back to those areas that are just dead.
So we just went to James on a Friday night, and there was like no one there. And the food, not what it used to be. So where's everyone going in Summerlin, Las Vegas? Where is everyone partying? Where is everyone drinking? Where is everyone eating? Because that used to be the spot, and it's not anymore.
People are broke, out of work, and prices keep rising. That might sound straightforward, but think about Las Vegas. If you caught the news this summer, you saw tourism drop sharply across the board. So if you live or work near those areas, you're likely feeling it even more. Similar.
LA follows Las Vegas footsteps as visitors to city plummet 50%. No one's going. We're talking about people taking trips. They tend to do that when they think their lives are good. Nobody goes, "Hey, I'm unemployed. I just got thrown off Medicaid. Do you want to go to Vegas?"
Plus, a drink on the strip now costs $50. I think this summer has been especially rough overall, and if restaurants are relying on travelers to fill their tables, things are not looking good. We've got another comment from one of our viewers. My local pub in Ireland posted their menu on Facebook 2 years ago. Back then, a 12-ounce sirloin steak was €20. Now you get an 8-ounce steak for €30. That's a 50% price increase and 1/3 less steak. I know the profit margins in the restaurant business are often thin, but given the current climate, I'd stay far away from this industry altogether.
So there's certain businesses I always say stay away from. Number one, especially for me, I don't see myself ever getting involved in this type of business, is the food industry. You can speak to any restaurant owner. It is a graft. The margins are low. You have to stress about the quality being the same every single day. I wouldn't be able to step away from that. I would find myself there every evening, every weekend. I wouldn't have a life. Yes, there may be some people who have made the fortunes in the food industry. I'm just saying it's one of the hardest ones.
One comment on that clip said it's not about money, it's about passion. But like I've shown in a lot of my videos, passion usually doesn't pay the bills. People go to college, take on over $100,000 in debt for a degree in their passion, and then can't find a job or earn almost nothing. I'm not saying no one should ever open a restaurant, but when 60% fail in 3 years and 80% in 5, plus all the issues we already talked about with customers and falling sales, the odds are really against you. Here are some clips. It's sad to see one of the best Mexican restaurants in North Jersey completely empty at 7:30 on a Saturday night. Honestly, there are tons of TikTok clips like this. The economy is worse, and restaurants feel it first. They probably want people to pay $40 for 3 tacos. Also, a lot of restaurants use the same food supplier, so it's all like cafeteria, hospital, or jail food when they charge you $30 a plate. Maybe people are choosing to cook at home instead of eating out. Groceries are expensive, and everyone is cutting back. So this connects to talking about small businesses versus chain restaurants that don't seem worth it. The same problem with high prices still applies. One big trend lately is millennial burger joints. I bet everyone has seen these spots that try to be different from Applebee's or Chili's, but funny enough, they all end up looking like their own chain restaurant. They're very similar, and the prices are just insane. I ordered a burger, and this is what I got. Guess how much? $29 for the burger, $13 for the truffle fries. The in-house red sauce, basically ketchup, alone would be $6. Here's another. Guess how much a plain burger costs? Minimum $40 meal, and you can't skip the tip. The creator said they asked if I wanted truffle fries, so that would have been even more. 600% gratuity included. Just 2 guys with a crazy idea. Another clip shows glasses that are measuring cups instead of normal glassware, and pepper in a light bulb instead of a regular shaker. Another one, 2 brothers with a crazy idea. That light bulb is genuinely insane. The giant measuring cups of iced tea get me every time. It doesn't matter if you're looking at fast food, mid-tier chains, small family businesses, or high-end fine dining. Everything is just too expensive for most people now.
So I am someone who used to really value going out to dinner, and I would actually budget a lot of money every single month for going out to restaurants. That was a big part of my social life and how I got together with a lot of my girlfriends. And now I would say that I've eaten out at restaurants maybe 5 times in the last 6 to 8 months, literally since the summer. A few months ago, I went out to dinner with one of my friends. This was early December. And we got pizza and wine and salad. And so we're sitting at this restaurant at this little teeny tiny table sandwiched between 2 other groups of people. So we have barely any space. The table's not even big enough to fit everything that we ordered. We got a glass of wine each. We got 2 individual sized pizzas. And mind you, neither of us eat meat. I ordered the vegan pizza, which didn't have any cheese. It was literally just a pizza with eggplant and sauce. And she ordered just a white pizza, no meat. So 2 of the least expensive pizzas on the menu. And we split a kale salad. And we each paid $80. The waiter came over with the bill and I was like, what did we order? And the food was good, but $80 for pizza, wine, and salad is ridiculous.
I could share more examples like that, but I think you get the point. That's all I have for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. YouTube thinks you'll like the video showing on screen now. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like. See you later.